I have the deepest respect for Einstein. Every age has had its great, outstanding scientists. Archimedes, Galileo, Newton, and for our generation has been Einstein. They have stood out solely many times greater than all other scientists for their age. And that has been shown by, for example, Einstein's Anna Mirabilis, his miracle year, where he had wrote the 5 papers that changed physics forever. But there's 2 things that happened. Even though Einstein, after his miracle year, essentially was Einstein, when he proposed a decade later the photoelectric effect, they actually called him an idiot and a moron to his face.
Who was that?
His contemporaries.
Oh yeah.
There's something about human nature. The resistance of any new idea is profoundly amazing to me that happens almost for anything. But what I wanted to mention is that in my short career I have come upon at least 3 cases where some scientists in my sphere of colleagues have thought it necessary to try to build up their own careers by tearing down Einstein, whether they feel inadequate or inferior, but they call Einstein, not only they call Einstein wrong, but they call him wrong in a way that is insulting. And it is, it's very unprofessional, firstly, and obviously you can't try to build up yourself or your intelligence, whatever level it is, by insulting, by trying to tear down somebody else. But in addition, I have seen a couple of them who have been ostracized from the mainstream physics community. One in particular, for example, I'd always been interested in the B3 electromagnetic field because it seemed like, as a person with interest in the extended electromagnetic theory and the Proctor equation, the longitudinal and transverse wave completed a theory of electromagnetism in my mind. And there was a fellow who was actually in line. He's been nominated to win the Nobel Prize. I'm not sure if I should mention his name. And I had this on good advice from a colleague who was in the second rung of the Nobel Prize committee. But he did 2 things. He would not let anybody write about his theory. He became furious. And then later on, at a time after that, almost every word out of his mouth was something derogatory to say about Einstein. And he was a person who had a book series in a well-known publisher. And so I contacted him unknowing about these other things, and I said, well, you know, let's do a monograph on your theory. So I worked and I got the publisher to give us a book contract, and we were busy. We'd gotten about 1/3 of the book done, and I was the one who took it upon me to type the equations. And then because of the success of this, and I was seeing this book's production. And then because of the success of this, and I didn't know about it until later, he submitted another book proposal to the same publisher. And he started attacking Einstein every other paragraph. And the publisher sent it out to reviewers. And they said, you as a publisher cannot publish this book. Your whole reputation will be at stake, number one. And it is very unprofessional. Everyone just knows or should know that it's unprofessional to build up your own credibility by attacking somebody else. So there were 4 of them, and some who hadn't been on as an editor, as a co-author of this book, they were all banned. They were not allowed to have any, the publisher would not have anything to do with them at all. They were not going to be able to publish anything with this publisher. And there's another fellow, he actually attended the conference that I chair, and he'd submitted a paper, and I told him that it's unprofessional to criticize Einstein, you must remove that.